I'm Andrew Berry and welcome to At The Bench's YouTube channel. So you may be wondering what I'm doing sat here. I'm in my study at home and I'm just producing this quick film because a few days ago I put a little bit of a film upon Instagram showing me putting all these books here, as you can see, upon the shelf. And I simply asked, do you have any books that you can recommend? Because I've got about 140 odd jewellery making books and jewellery sort of books upon these shelves. And a few people actually said, well, Andrew, can you recommend your top 3 books? Your top jewellery making books. Now, I think to find 3 of the top jewellery making books that I've got is a really difficult decision to make, because there are lots of books relating to something that is really quite basic and simple to something really experienced and technical. So I'm going to break this sort of film down into 3 different parts, and this first part we're going to be looking at what books did I have first. Now remember, I went to university. I did a degree in 3-dimensional design back in 1983. Gosh, that's a long time ago. And then there wasn't obviously the internet as we know it today. In fact, I'm not even sure there was any internet back then. So the range of books that were available that I knew about was really limited. So I was browsing in places like WH Smith's and some jewellery suppliers that had some books, and I had about 3 or 4 books for about 2 or 3 years that I devoured. They were really good books. I devoured them. I studied them. I tried all the techniques that was in them. There was some drawing, some painting styles that I copied. And over those few years whilst I was in university, I got a degree in 3-dimensional design. I passed and I finished in 1986. Now let me just quickly show you some of those books that I had first of all, and they really did influence me in the way that I started to think about jewellery making and manufacturing, and really wanting to become my own boss and start up my own business. Let's just go and have a look and see what books they are. So I've just put these shelves up and I've only had them literally up about a week, and you can see the weight of all these books is actually starting to bend this shelf. Good old IKEA shelves. So let's have a look, let's see what we can find. I'll tell you what, I think there's 4 books here that I'll find for you. Right, there's one book there. That book there. That book there. I'm sure there was one. Okay, I think these are my 4 books. Okay, so why have I chosen these books? Okay, the first book I ever bought was this one here. Okay, this is a book by Sylvia Wicks, Jewellery Making Manual, How to Design and Make Your Own Jewellery. This book I think is absolutely brilliant. Back in 1985 it cost me £11.95. My glasses on. It's published by a MacDonald book, Quill Publishing Limited, 1985. I find this book is absolutely brilliant. It covers such simple design ideas to start off with. It goes through some contemporary ideas. It doesn't dwell too long upon tools and equipment. There are lots of books out there that just go on for pages and pages and pages saying you need this ring clamp, you need this file, you need this burnisher, you need this burnisher, actually you need this type of saw frame, actually you need this type of bench peg, you need this type of pliers. It goes on and on and on. This book does not cover all of that, which is what I loved about it. It just got straight down into the nitty gritty. It had lots of basic hints and tips showing you how to solder, showing you how to pierce, little projects going through it, elements of design, contemporary ideas, almost weaving, some gorgeous illustrations like this. It goes on making your own settings. It goes through bezel setting, claw setting, making your own claws, channel setting. It tells you how to make up your own brooch fittings. It goes through the whole thing. Enameling. It covered stamping. It literally covered RT blanking system, cuttlefish casting. Oh my god, it goes through so much. Forging. It goes through then towards the end some really advanced techniques going into inlay, patination, chain making, linking and jointing, 3-stone settings and so forth. With a little bit of hallmarking on the outside. When was that there? I think I had there was a, was it 1986? I've actually got an invoice from 1986 from a company called J. Blundell and Sons in Wardour Street. Used to use them a lot. 18 carat setting, £7.34. 18 carat white rec settings, £5. Wow, those are the days. So, one book that I had when I was young, when I first started, was that book. The other couple of books was this book as well. By Peter Bagley. I'm not quite sure whether you're going to get this book available today. Again, a very book, pretty basic book. It's just basically all black and white drawings, black and white photographs. Making Silver Jewellery by Peter Bagley, published in 1986 by BT Batsford Limited, London. Again, going back through basic techniques, simple techniques, drawing, stamping, punching, forging. It goes through shaping, wire, drawing wire down, twisting wire, fabrication, filigree. And what I liked about this book was towards the back, it actually sort of got into a little bit of the nitty-gritty about business, how to price your work, how to price things for craft fairs, finance control, cash flow, and that sort of thing, which I was really interested in when I came towards the end of my university and I wanted to start up. Really good. I like that book. Peter Bagley, that was another really good book that I liked. Another book was this one here, A Handmade Jewellery Techniques and Design by Alison Richards. Again, very basic, very simple book. Majority are all things like this, which are line drawings, a couple of photographs. This was published, I think it was back in the 70s, this one. This was an old library book. 76, I think this was. 1976 first published. Goes into the idea of your workbench. Things like that. Again, basic techniques, really good, nothing flash, nothing fancy. This book, again, was absolutely brilliant. One other book that I had, I think I've got this, I think this was from Kernocraft, all that years and years ago, back in the early 80s, just called Jewellery. Again, we've got some things about history of jewellery. It goes into how to work, how to sit at your bench, some tools. Very cheap book at the time. Goes into very simple things like settings, breaking it down to the bare basics, bit of hole marking, bit on stones, bit on cleaning, soldering, polishing, casting, and these sort of things. So it didn't go too deep into the scientific nature of how things work. They sort of tempted you with a few little bits and pieces, tempted you with, this is how cuttlefish casting is done, this is how sand casting is done, this is how enamelling is done. Didn't go into things in great detail, but it got you thinking, well, that really sounds interesting, I wouldn't mind trying that. So these are the books that I had when I was in university. Jewellery Making Manual by Sylvia Wicks. Making Silver Jewellery, Peter Bagley. Handmade Jewellery Techniques and Design by Alison Richards. and a book on jewellery. I've no idea who the writer was with this, but those were the 4 books that I had whilst I was in university that got me through university, that really whetted my appetite for jewellery making techniques and wanting to become my own boss and actually produce pieces of jewellery to sell. And that was what I really wanted to do. I came out of university with a good business plan, knowing exactly what I wanted to do, but that's for another time. So there we go, those were my books that I had whilst in university. If you haven't done already, please subscribe. I would love you to hit that bell icon just to be notified when films go live on At The Bench's YouTube channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, come and visit our online jewellery website at thebench.com. We have a link by here going directly to it. And stay tuned for more book recommendations. Thank you for watching. My name is Andrew Berry for At The Bench's YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.